ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray, and it is Fat Tuesday.
Oh, no. Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Feel fat?
That's what I said. I feel fat every day of my life sometimes. But that's okay.
I noticed Tiffany Clutter is in the audience today, and she's probably going to be on the show. So if you are feeling fat today,
she can fix
it. She can probably fix that for you. So
yeah,
put you on the right track to
that girl's body fat's probably about 12, maybe even 6.
Maybe less.
I know.
Oh my goodness! What a week! What a day! Isn't it beautiful outside?
It is absolutely gorgeous
gosh.
outside.
But the rain will be back.
Well, of course it will.
You know, and
it's that time of year.
It's that time of year. But buttercups are coming up, and you know you're kind of in between. Spring is about here. We're going to get a longer day any day now, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Every day. Every day's a little bit longer.
I know.
Well, it's not a little bit longer. It's just the sun shines a little bit more.
I always look forward to that. There's something about daylight that impresses me.
Well, daylight makes you feel better. You know, there's a whole lot of people who have really bad things happen to them when there's not enough daylight in their life.
Like yesterday was a little on the weird side because of the
there's a lot
overcast.
of gray days in this area this time of year, as John just mentioned.
So the bottom line is we have to find things to get the grayness out of our lives.
What is that song? Sunshine and da 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 da.
I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
I do too, but
I know Let the Sunshine In. From Hair.
Yeah, from Hair.
Yeah.
Is
God,
it
what
Sunshine,
a great
Lollipops, Rainbow?
Sunshine and Lollipops, Rainbow.
That's right.
Fuller, my karaoke king. Had to sing that one probably too, didn't you?
Yeah, I can still. We did that for so long, several years, that I can remember who wrote what song back from 1960, but I can't remember what I'm supposed to do yesterday, nor what I did before the day before yesterday. So.
You know what is amazing to me, and I'm going to call these guys out a little bit, but it's just because I've been working with them. Troy Durham is having his show this Saturday night at South Jackson Civic Center, Pink is the Color of Hope, which is a song that after his wife passed away with cancer, he and I wrote together.
Beautiful song.
And he does that show. This will be his 4th year of doing that show, and all the money goes to Sarah Cannon.
Isn't that wonderful?
And we were practicing down at Troy's house this week, and like everyone else just about that's on stage now, there's an iPad on a stand. They're even making stands, music stands that hold an iPad. And it's like karaoke.
Yeah.
It's right there.
People don't have to learn the words to the songs anymore. It's right there.
Yeah.
And I asked one of them, I said, well, I can't believe as many times as J.D. Honey, and he was singing Merle, and there's no telling how many times he sang those Merle Haggard songs, probably 1,000 each.
And he still got it.
And he's looking at that iPad, and you could every now and then you can see him take their finger and
turn the page.
The page with it. And I'm going, why are you dependent on that? You know that song, cold.
Yeah.
But it's just a thing that you get used to doing.
It finally becomes your brain is on the iPad.
Right. Well, you don't have to think
Yeah.
about it. It's right there.
It's right there.
And I will hate it when you go to a concert and you're paying $50, $60, $100, $200, $300 a seat to see somebody perform, and they've got an iPad up there, because that to me means
what's happening.
They don't know their own music.
Yeah.
For $200 a seat, they ought to be able to sing a song without looking at an iPad.
And often it's just
come
being
on,
fed
John.
into their ears.
You forget stuff too.
But I mean, I just don't like it.
I'm always amazed at my granddaughter, the oldest granddaughter, because I mentioned this before, but I set up all this karaoke equipment in my garage, and which was from back in 1990s when we were doing it. I've since upgraded it to where it runs off a computer instead of that old stuff, because I figure it's going to wear out one day.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to tell Abigail, teach her some of the stuff I like, and she occasionally plays with a big band and that kind of stuff.
she sings sometimes with us.
And I say, it goes like this, Abigail. Abigail doesn't trust me.
Yeah.
Abigail looks at her iPad and says, let me hear how that goes, how that really goes.
Yeah.
And, so
a lot of information.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is I was impressed, and I'm always impressed by the South Jackson Street Band, Peggy's band, and what Peggy does. But Doreen Schultz is singing, taking some of the chops, not the chops, but the songs
vocals
that Peggy is invited Doreen in, and it was interesting to me her take on some of those songs. The arrangement was changed just a little bit.
Right, because her vocal range is lower.
And that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good thing that someone understands well enough to do that.
You have to just lower the whole thing an octave in order to get it out.
Right, that's
sure.
right.
That's improvisation. That's important.
I used to have to lower things more than one octave.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was two. One of the most challenging things I ever did one time was trying to sing a Christmas song. Remember Chestnuts Are Up?
Yeah.
And I knew I'd have that down 2 octaves. So did everybody else that was in the show, but they got distracted and they didn't lower it. And so I'm over there trying to
on
live television.
Trying to hit all the notes.
Yeah, it was
tough deal.
Yeah, it was pretty challenging for me. But anyway.
And nowadays, we have pianos that you can just push a button and it automatically transposes down to where you want it to go.
Oh, sure.
That's nothing new, but it's kind of a nice little trick.
Well, and the other night we were doing a song and Troy was doing it, and he was a little bit high because JD was trying to sing high harmony with him. Well, Troy was up there, and then he was having a hard time hitting the notes, which made JD he was in the stratosphere. And so they started trying to bring it down. Well, the lead guitar player, you're used to playing that song in a certain key where your fingers are at a certain place. Well, when you change that from a G to a something or another, it's more than the rhythm guy just puts a capo on. For the lead guy, that moves him in a place on that neck that he's not used to being. And you've got to be really good. You've got to be really good to do that.
That's why the number charts are so important. A number chart doesn't matter what key you're in. You just, if it's key of A, that's number 1, or you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not real smart to know all about that,
but you've still got to move on the neck of that guitar.
You got to move on the neck of the guitar.
And you go from playing on a big wide spot up here to a little bitty spot down here close to the bottom. It makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
You got to be good.
Yes, you do.
You got to be good, and we're fortunate.
That's going to be a good show, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be a wonderful show.
Job,
and what they've done is, when we first started doing that show, it was a sad time in Troy's life.
Yeah.
And a lot of music, because you've got Merle and George.
They do a lot of sad songs.
And there was a lot of those old country songs. And after a couple of years, I told Marty, and we told Troy, said,
lighten it up.
We got to lighten this deal up.
Yeah.
Now it's a celebration.
Yeah.
And so the music this time is going to be 180 degrees from what it's been in the past. So it's a lively, fun, good time show.
John, when you
money.
reference Merle and George, you should say their last name because there's probably a lot of people out there that watch it that don't know who we're talking
Not everybody
about.
knows who George Jones was. That he rode on a golf cart or on a lawnmower to go get his liquor.
Get drunk. Yeah.
But he had a great voice.
George bought a new moped one time in somewhere up in Michigan, and he'd had a few drinks and decided he was going to ride that moped back to Texas, and so he followed the tour bus for about 1,000 miles
on a moped.
And finally the moped quit because it just blew up.
Yeah.
That's about all the miles you could get out of a moped.
Right. It was not made for long miles.
No, it wasn't. So.
Oh, that was funny.
I guess he just threw it on the side of the road, got on the bus, and left.
And probably bought him a Cadillac somewhere
Yeah,
down the
maybe
line.
so.
People, yeah.
Maybe so. That's probably what happened. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
In those days, you could buy a Cadillac for what, $4,000 maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
4 or 5,
Yeah.
you know.
And a house.
Yeah, right.
A house for $4,000 too.
Right, exactly. You know, so.
I was watching the Pickers the other day, and they were talking about a motorcycle that was done back in before 1915, and you could buy a car for $65. You could buy a Model T for $7,500 or $100.
Yeah.
And that motorcycle was $200-300 back
Yeah.
then.
Well, you could buy a house for $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
Lord,
Think about
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my, how times have changed.
Yes, they
Very
have.
much
They
so.
have.
I can remember buying gas for 18 cents a gallon.
You're
I do
kidding.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to remember what gas costs because I didn't have a car for a long time.
And when I was
So I
in
don't
high
have to worry
school, I
about
worked
it.
at a service station,
Did you?
and it was about 20 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until they'd have a war.
Yeah.
And when it was 18 cents a gallon, it was up in, when I was going to school up in Knoxville, and somebody got in the business of having a gas war. And there were two major companies that supplied up there, and it got down to 18
Yeah.
cents a gallon. But you had to go across the river to get 18 cents
Yeah,
a gallon.
kids would come by the service station and buy 50 cents worth of gas, which would be 2.5, 3 gallons of gas, and
Run all week.
They could go for
well,
3 miles.
mainly that was kids using their parents' cars to go out at night, because
Yeah.
a lot of them would come by and ask you to disconnect the speedometer, and would you? And could they come back?
At
what
midnight.
was the latest they could come back and get
And
you
get
to
some
hook
more
it,
gas.
and get you to hook it back up? Yeah.
Always some way to work it out.
Yeah,
that's
working
right.
the deal.
Yeah.
Working the deal.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Right.
What kind of deals you got going?
Well, you just spoke about this weekend
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that event. We have Becky Buller and her
She's on the
fabulous
7th.
bluegrass band coming on the 7th. That's the main thing I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get a good jazz group so we can have Jazz on Jackson again.
Good. And the second annual Purple Olympics is going to be at Tullahoma High School gym on March the 7th, and that is a fundraiser for Alzheimer's Tennessee.
And that'll be
That'll be Saturday morning. Free hamburger, free
What
hot
time
dogs,
does
free
it
food.
start?
Starts at registration starts at 8:30, and the shebang starts at 9. It'll go till about noon.
Great.
So a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
What day did you say?
7th, the same
Oh, the
day as
same
Becky
day as
Buller.
Becky
yeah.
Buller's thing,
Saturday
okay.
morning you can go participate in that. Saturday morning play brain games,
And get something
adult
good to
tricycle
eat, yeah.
races, wheelchair races. You know, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time doing that, and hot dogs and chips and drinks are supplied, and it's just a fun thing to do. We have a parade, and we have torch bearers for the Olympics.
Who's running the torch this year?
I can't remember all of them this time. Last year we had the mayor, and we had Jesse and Cliff Campbell, and we had Larry Nee, who still holds us up until just recently a state record from back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, which we have some video of this
From
past weekend.
past Saturday
Oh,
night.
good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting show, and Tiffany Clutter is here. We're going to go fat-free on Fat Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm pleased to have joining me now Laurel Stone. And Laurel is here this morning to talk about green eggs and ham.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's all that. Have you ever had green eggs and ham?
Yes, many times.
Okay, all right. All right.
Many years we've been doing this.
Yeah, and this kind of ties into something you're doing for Imagination Station, is that
yes,
correct?
it's a fundraiser for Imagination Library of Coffee County.
Right. And what is Imagination Library? What does that do? What do they do there?
It is a group that we send. I need to step back here. So in Coffee County, we are able to send books out to all the children, birth to age 5, once a month in the mail. They get a book in the mail. In their hands for all the children birth to age 5. That's about 3,000 children here in Coffee County. Mm-hmm. It is a statewide thing. It's a national thing. It's an international thing that Dolly started back in 1996.
Oh, this is the Dolly Parton
This is
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Dolly
Okay.
started it, but it is the Imagination Library program, mm-hmm. And it's partnered with the Dollywood Foundation and the Governor's Books from Birth Foundation in Tennessee.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And the Governor's Books from Birth, is that the same kind of that's the same kind of program?
Yes, it's something
that
Governor Bredesen started in 2005. I think 2004, 2005. Governor Bredesen started this so that each county in Tennessee wouldn't have to pay the whole cost of the books for the children. The Governor's Books from Birth Foundation pays half of the cost, and then each county comes up with the rest of the money, and that's why we have fundraisers.
Oh, I see. Okay. And I assume that's where the green eggs and ham fundraiser comes into play here, correct?
Yes. We started this many years ago. We're not sure. We think it might be about 10 years ago. We're going to look so we can find out what number of an annual breakfast it is.
Right.
We started it many years ago with Gloria Dameron at Dameron's Restaurant, and she cooks up the green eggs and ham for us. And we just have a good old time there that day.
How do you make the eggs green? Food coloring?
Food coloring.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
all it takes.
Okay, all right. I mean, I guess you think of that might not be all that appetizing, but actually it's regular eggs.
Oh, y'all know Gloria Dameron knows how to cook some good breakfast.
She knows.
She makes some good green eggs and ham and some other fixings for us.
3,000 kids. I had no idea there were that many kids in Coffee County that does this kind of thing. That benefits rather from this program. Mm-hmm. It must be hugely. Do you think this really encourages children to start reading at an early age, or I assume from one and somebody reads it to them? But
yes, the earlier they get the books in their hands, the better. And the children will get that book in the mailbox, and they're happy to get some mail, and they're proud that they have their own book, and they're asking that mom, dad, grandma to read that book to them, and the family can get together and have that book reading time together, and they've got that exposure to books, and it's going to instill a lifelong love of literacy and really builds a good foundation for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. And the Dolly Parton who initiated this has been around for a lot of years, correct?
Dolly Parton started it in 1996 in Sevier County, in her home town of Sevier County. She partnered with the Rotary there, and she wanted for all the children in the county, no matter what your walk of life, to have books in the home. Mm-hmm. And they started it in Sevier County. Other counties started following suit, and then the Governor's Books from Birth Foundation came into play. It's now in all 95 counties in Tennessee. It's in all of the states in the country. all of from what Dolly started in 1995. So in all the states, and it's in Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, parts of Germany, and parts of Africa now.
Unbelievable. Who would have thought
is.
that it would have grown to that extent?
That's our Dolly.
Over the years. And what is the county responsible for paying for part of this cost? Is that why you're having the fundraiser? Did I get that right? Or
Yes, every county has to come up with the funds to pay for the books for the children. So we have a Imagination Library Board. We have about 10 members on our board, and we make sure that we either get grants or donations or have fundraisers in order to cover the cost of the books for our children. And actually, Coffee County has one of the highest numbers of children enrolled in the state as far as children enrolled in Imagination Library program. So something to be proud of.
Laurel, you are always coming by to talk about something involving children, and that's got to be a passion for you. What is your real job? I mean, what do you actually do?
I work with Child Care Resource and Referral.
Right.
I work with all the licensed child care facilities in Coffee County, as well as 4 other counties. I work with them and give them assistance with whatever they need related to the children in their care.
I see. Okay. And I assume that's apparently something you really, really enjoy doing.
I love children.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about the fundraiser. That's coming up when?
The fundraiser is Saturday, March 7th, 8 to 10 at Dameron's Restaurant, 714 East Lincoln Street, Tullahoma. I'm going to give you information on our Facebook page and the event page. The breakfast is $8 a person. Children under 3 eat free. And since I'm getting over being sick, can you read out our Facebook and our Green Eggs and Ham event page?
Okay, yeah, the Facebook page is the Imagination Library of Coffee County. I assume that you can just type that into the address bar and it'll find that for
Facebook,
you. And the Green Eggs and Ham event page is the annual Green Eggs and Ham fundraiser. So if you just type that into the address bar, you'll be able to find that to get more information about that. Laurel has been a little bit under the weather, and we appreciate very much her.
But I wanted to make it out here today.
That's right, and we're very proud that you did. How much money did I miss something?
Oh. I do want to add a couple of things.
Okay.
We will. Cat in the Hat will be there. Our children's librarians from Lanham and Manchester Library will be there doing story time. We're just going to have a fun time that morning. Eat some green eggs and ham, raise some money, have some fun with the kids. So please come out.
I think you covered it, but that's going to be a lot of fun
it's
for the kids.
Be fun.
So bring
yes.
them, as well.
Yes, bring the kids out.
Okay. How much money do you need to raise to be able to make this happen in Coffee County?
It's about $40,000 a year that we need to raise to get the books out to all the kids.
So you guys have to work at that, I'm sure.
We have to work at it, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, what a program. And so many kids, 3,000 kids in Coffee County are going to benefit from this. So great program. All right. Again, that's Saturday, March 7th. Okay.
8 to 10 at Dameron's.
All right, so try to be there and help. This is a really, really good cause, folks. So try to help them out with that. Laurel, thank you so much for coming by. It's always a pleasure to see you. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after this.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm glad to have one of our young fireball spark plugs in our county, Miss Tiffany Clutter, here with us today, and she's with the Manchester Parks and Rec.
How are you?
I'm good, and you? It's always a pleasure to have you because,
so kind.
you know, well, I met Tiffany probably 6-8 years ago. Y'all were involved in radio and did a lot of promotion, and I've always been impressed about number one, the energy that you have.
Oh, how kind.
And you always seem to be someone who has a plan.
Oh.
And you're in control of that plan.
Well, I've heard the word bossy before. But,
well, that comes along with it sometimes.
I take that as a compliment.
Certainly.
That's, but you're so kind. When you were introducing me, Fireball and all that, I thought, who's here? Where?
You are.
Who is that?
You
oh my
are.
gosh.
Spark plug. How about that?
Spark plug. Very
Spark
nice.
plug. So what's going on in Manchester?
Well, I am the activities coordinator for the Manchester Parks and Recreation Department, and I'm so grateful to you folks for allowing us to come over here every month and give the scoop, the skinny, and the 411 about what we have going on activity-wise at the Manchester Parks and Recreation Department. And I always have a long list, so I've got a big fat list.
Well,
So,
you know, as much as some people might not agree with it, we are very much wanting to and tried for 28 years to be a promoter of all things good in Manchester. And maybe one day that banging of heads between Manchester and Tullahoma will go away. We've always tried to support both towns, and we appreciate an opportunity to have you come over here and let our Manchester audience know what's going on, and let the Tullahoma audience know what they can do.
You're invited.
10 miles away.
Absolutely.
To find an activity that they might be interested in.
Well, Coffee County certainly is a gem in the state of Tennessee as a whole, and we've got some great things going on in the entire county.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So are you ready?
Give us.
Well, Laurel was here earlier talking about that terrific fundraiser for the Imagination Library and the Green Eggs and Ham Breakfast. And Green Eggs and Ham, you may or may not know, is the title of a Dr. Seuss book. And Dr. Seuss Week, well, Read Across America Week, is coming up the first week in March. And a lot of folks are celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday that week, and so there's a lot of Dr. Seuss reading happening that week. We have a book for you to read in Manchester, and so Read Across America is the initiative for that week. We're going to encourage you to read across the Manchester Square as well. We've got The Foot Book, which is a Dr. Seuss book. Have you read it?
The Foot Book. No, I haven't read The Foot Book.
I should have brought it and read it to you. But here's your chance. We invite you to go to the square March 1st through the 7th. The pages of the book are in different businesses all over the square. So we're encouraging walking with the family there.
Smart.
Reading. The super wasn't my idea. I'm just the person making it happen. The reading, the walking, but we're going to give you a prize if you complete the whole foot book on the square in Manchester, March 1st through the 7th. So you'll swing by the rec center, pick up your reader card, go to the square, read the book pages, and you're going to write down the name of the business that you found the page. And when you bring your reader card completed back to the rec center, you get a free day pass to the rec center.
Wonderful.
How about that?
I think that's great.
So this is part of the Coffee County initiative to keep folks healthy. And
Well read.
it's the Coffee County Health Council and the Manchester subcommittee put this together, and we're pretty excited about it.
Well, I think that's a great idea. You know, excuse me, over here at the library in Tullahoma, I've noticed that there's the path, that the trail that leads our greenway, there's some stuff on that trail that's something like it, but it's just a short
and
trip.
it may be a similar type of thing.
It's a similar type
we borrowed
thing.
the book pages from the UT Extension Office.
Right,
They had
right.
those, so
That's just great.
we're wanting families to stay moving. You know, March really still is winter, so
Some days.
move in
Yeah,
winter,
move.
read, and do all of those things.
Yeah, and particularly if there's a little sunshine, get out and take advantage of it.
Amen to that.
All right, so
Let's
what
take
else
it.
is going on?
Well, we have some lifeguard training coming up. Were you a lifeguard?
No, I never was a lifeguard. I was the bane of a lifeguard.
You were always running on the deck?
I
What?
was running on the deck. I was dunking little girls. I was doing cannonballs.
You're that guy.
I was stuffing somebody's clothes in the drain and stopping
Oh, my
up.
word.
That was horrible.
How are you not in jail?
I was.
Bless.
I've been there.
Being a lifeguard is a really cool job.
Yes.
A great way to make some money. And how do you become a lifeguard? Well, you take a lifeguard training, and we have the official lifeguard training. That's March 16th through the 28th. It costs $150, and you can register at the Manchester Parks and Recreation Department.
You know, and one of the things that impresses me is you drive by your facility or our Splash Island facility, and you look and you see these young people up there, and you think, because what you're remembering is when you were a kid, and there's a lifeguard up there, and they're a little bit older than you, and you don't realize the responsibility
So much
that
responsibility.
those young people have, and the fact that they train themselves
And
to
they
do
know
that.
just what to do
They
in
know
every
what to
situation
do,
because they've been trained and
and
they're
they're
ready.
quick enough
Yes.
and young enough
Yeah.
and limber and flexible enough to
All
make
that.
it happen. But I think it is very, very, it's a great, great attribute and something that's great to put on a resume.
I think so.
For a young
Oh, it looks
person to
wonderful
have
on a
been
resume.
a lifeguard,
And
where
even
you're taking
college-
care of other people's lives.
Even college applications.
Lifeguard.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I
So
think
we'd
it's
love to
great.
have you be a part of that. We are offering a spring break day camp. It is April 3rd through the 10th. So if you want your child to do some fun and swim and do crafts and play games all during spring break while you're working, we've got it
Or
for
while
you.
you're on break as well.
Okay, well, there is that. I didn't think about that. But I have to work.
Instead of having spring
Yeah.
break, you get a spring break too, Mom. You get to take them to the rec center.
So ages 5 through 12, and April 3rd through the 10th. So you get 6 days, and it's just $65.
Oh, that's the cheapest babysitting in the world.
Well, it is, and they're coming home real tired. That's how you like it, right?
So in the afternoon, you get a break.
That's right. Each day, that April 3rd through the 10th, it's 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So they can take care of your kids.
All right, very good.
We've got more. How about you?
So,
Ready?
well, I'm ready, baby. You,
All
got,
right, we've
you
got-
got 53 seconds.
We've got
Blow and
egg
go.
hunts. Egg hunts. And you may think March is too soon to be thinking about egg hunts, but that's when we've got them scheduled. We have an underwater egg hunt, if you dare.
An underwater egg hunt.
Ages
I
3
think
to
that's-
12. It doesn't cost anything. It's completely free. It's limited to 50 children, though, so you need to pre-register ahead of
Okay.
time. And then that is March the 21st, 11 a.m. on that Saturday morning. And our land egg hunts, we have 2. They're both March the 28th, 1 p.m. on that Saturday, March the 28th at Fred Dedman Park in Manchester. Bring your baskets. And then for the older, that's for kids ages 7 and under. And then kids ages 8 to 12, it's at 8 p.m. And you know what that means, right?
Nighttime egg
It's in the
hunting.
dark.
Dark egg
Bring
hunting.
your flashlight and your basket. I think those headlamps are particularly attractive. You know, the one with the spotlight. in it. So, but you got to have
You weren't a
hands
coal
free.
miner's daughter,
Well,
were
but
you?
you need hands free to be able to, you know, get the eggs.
Get
So
all those
a headlamp's the way to go. Your kids are invited to the Manchester City Egg Hunts. It's all free. So
Good.
come on out, and that's the 28th.
Good.
And you can
Thank
find.
you.
We'd love for you to follow us on Facebook. You find out all
Follow
these.
them on Facebook. We appreciate Tiffany coming over and letting us know what's happening over in Manchester and in Coffee County. And I see Lyle's come in, and I'm sure Lyle's going to have a bunch of
With the
information.
Tullahoma Recreation
With
Department?
Tullahoma Rec.
How about that?
We're going to get y'all wrecked out here before
We're
the
going to arm
day-
wrestle.
Yeah.
Bring it. Come on, Lyle.
Hey, can we make that happen? We'll plan that for another day.
Come on.
Oh, come on, Lyle, get up here.
That's okay.
Hi, Lyle.
Hey.
How are you? Great to see you.
You too.
That's
Good
not
morning.
an arm wrestle. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to take this to commercial. Get us a shot there. Get us a shot there. Get them in. Get them in. All right, here we
Ready,
go.
set?
To commercial. 1, 2, go.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman. And this is Pat Welch. And, John, we're here today for segment 58 of the Conversations with John and Pat. I'm going to sing a song by Hank Williams. I was inspired to some degree by Hank Williams because he was such a good songwriter. He wrote classics. He was certainly a good songwriter. Wrote over 500 songs.
You know, John, I didn't realize. I saw something that I read, and I couldn't believe he did all that, but he passed away when he was 29 years old.
29 years old.
I did not, and I assume that's one of the reasons why he's such a legend.
29 years old.
You passed away early. And
had bad addiction problem with drugs and alcohol. But
500 songs.
500 songs, and he did songs like "Your Cheating Heart," "Today I Passed You on the Street," "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry," just one right after another. "Jambalaya," "Hey Good Looking." But I'm going to do one that he wrote called "I Saw the Light." I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin, I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Once like the blind man I wandered astray. Dark is the road and narrow the way. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
fantastic.
That's a
Great
classical.
That is a classic. And Hank Williams wrote that also.
Hank
So
Williams
I did
wrote
not know that.
Yep. You know, I
500 songs, and he
Yeah.
lost his life at 29.
29. There was a young fella driving his car to a performance somewhere. I think it was like on January 1 or the last day of the year, or the first day of the. And it was real cold, and he was settled down with some sort of beverage and pills, and went to sleep back there and never did wake up. The young man didn't know what to do with him
it's
hauling around.
Not really good to have a body driving around town, that's for sure.
Let's go ahead and show that first slide, Philip, if you will.
Any segue here, John? We're just going to just plow into something.
Plow into it.
All right.
You know, we're going to do that because plow, that sort of gets me into thinking that when we're going to talk about my mother's father's brothers, and Roscoe and Dewey Johns.
All right, your mother was a Johns.
Yeah,
She's
and
Catherine
her
Johns Rickman.
father's brothers died one day apart from the great flu epidemic. They call it a pandemic now, you know, of 1918.
Wow.
And that's the tombstone of Roscoe. And he was married. He died first on December 1, 1918, at age 26.
This is Miss Catherine's. This is her great uncle's.
Yes,
It's her grandfather's brothers.
This graveyard is just outside of Igville, going on the Chapel Hill Road toward away out of Igville, and it's behind the Fox Hunters Club, if you know where that is, Pat.
Not really, but this is one of the few things in your family lore that we've missed, and we're going to have to make another trip.
We'll go by there, and let me tell you about that particular tombstone. That is a Woodman of the World tombstone, and people who were members of Woodman of the World could get those tombstones. They would either be like a fallen tree or like a stump, and this is like a fallen tree.
They used to have pretty good presence, the Woodman
Yes,
of the
they
World
did.
in Tullahoma. They sponsored either Babe Ruth team or Little League team for a long time.
They're the second largest distributor of the flags, except the other being the federal government. But he died on December 1, 1918, and then but he was a Woodman of the World, and that's why that rock still stands. That was a little bit interesting to me to find out about that particular stone. And he is Woodman Life Chapters have paid tribute to heroes, victims of September 11th attacks of 2001, donated flagpoles, American flags to school, fire departments, parks, and other public places. I'm not as familiar with them as I ought to be. You know, our allegiance has been to Rotary.
That's right.
Rotary International and the local.
I doubt we're going to have a Rotary tombstone, John.
No, I don't think so. But they died of the Spanish flu of 1918, and
what were the names again?
That was Roscoe.
Okay.
And go to the other tombstone. This is Dewey. Dewey Ransom Johns died 2 days later, on the 3rd of December 1918, at age 19 years of age.
Was his father? Is that Victory Johns?
Victoria.
Victoria.
These are his parents, their parents.
Okay.
Ransom Johns was their father, and Queenie Victoria Baskin Johns was the mother. Queenie Victoria. I don't know how she got that name, but that was her.
Well, I'm not too sure the tombstone's not mismarked, because unless my eyes are really failing me,
I think it says Victory.
Yeah.
But I guess they paid for it and probably had it written down wrong and said, you know, we'll have to take it.
That's
don't know.
or the tombstone engraver may have said you got it.
But do you think about tragedies in families? I mean, these two strong, strapping type of boys who died, men who died
You know, medicine has evolved so much that people of my era really, when you say flu, it's something you don't want, but you don't think about dying from it.
No.
Now, it wasn't many generations ahead of us when
No.
you talked about flu. You were talking about death if you weren't careful.
Well, let's talk about the 1918 flu pandemic.
Okay.
Back then, it would been the Great Flu Outbreak or whatever they would call it, but was usually deadly. It was the first of two pandemics involving the H1N1 influenza virus. It affected, get this, 500 million people around the world.
Wow.
Resulted in 50 to 100 million deaths around the world. 50 to 100 million deaths. It was believed to have started in Spain, where the flu generally kills the very young and elderly. This flu is different. It predominantly killed healthy young adults. But some point to the origin of the Spanish flu. The first cases in the United States was at Fort Riley, Kansas, in the military. World War II was a big proponent of this being spread around the globe.
World War I.
What did I say, II?
Yeah.
And the troops were being sent all over. This hastened the transmission of the flu.
And they'd be the trench warfare. They were literally, the lines would just be several feet apart.
Yeah.
So you're rubbing elbows with the enemy.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be hard to.
But it's strange, you know. It wiped out entire villages of folks in Alaska, tribes here and there. You know, it was really just terrible. And they said that when Roscoe and Dewey died, I'm not sure which, but there was a note written in some of the archives that I have where it said they wore aspidity bags around their necks because they didn't want to get the flu.
Oh, man.
And what was in that aspidity bag? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I tried to look it up a little bit where I could tell you folks out there, but I'm sorry I wasn't able to do that.
John did say in your research, family research, how long they had it?
No,
Would it kill you in just several
weeks?
weeks?
Quickly. It's quick. It wasn't long. 1/3 of the world's population was infected.
Wow.
It had been described as the great medical holocaust in history. It killed more people than the Black Death. This was 1918, 99 years ago. This went on. Get this. In 24 days, the Spanish flu took as many lives as AIDS has taken in 24 years. 24 days compared to 24 years.
Wow.
Let me say it again. In 24 days, the Spanish flu took as many lives as the AIDS virus has taken in 24 years. The magnitude of the Spanish flu was horrific, and certainly it was. But just a tribute to my great-grandparents, Ransom and Queenie. They went on. It didn't stop them. They kept going. And I would say that when tragedy hits in our family, when things are not pleasant, just go back to what you were doing and do the best you can with it. I'm sure they missed those two boys. And by the way, Roscoe has Howard Kirksey, of which many Tullahomans know, lives down toward Lynchburg, is a descendant of that group right there. So, Roscoe. So, it was good talking to you about this tragic reminder of almost 100 years ago, and about how it affected my family years ago.
John, you've educated me today. That's for sure. I appreciate all the research you did on that. It's a third of the population of the world with one disease is a frightening thought.
Really was. Hit close to home too.
Right. And that, John, that'll wrap up We don't want any flu, especially don't want any Spanish flu, but that'll wrap up segment 58.
You got your flu shot?
I've got it.
I have too.
We'll wrap up 58, but that won't be the end of the stories if management allows to continue on. Thanks, everybody.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is, The Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is, The Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm delighted today to have Terry Quick with me on the show from Highland Rim Habitat for Humanity, and her head is full of things that she needs to talk about. It's about building a house, right?
Absolutely, and serving the community.
And you all do a wonderful job. Are you on a house right now? Are they working on it? Or?
We're getting the lot ready and cleared here in Tullahoma. So our goal right now is for, hopefully this year, is to be able to build a home in Tullahoma. So what we need is a lot of Tullahoma backing on this one. The last 2 years, we've actually built houses in Franklin County, which we love building those too. So,
but this year it's actually in Tullahoma.
Hopefully, like
you're just waiting to see
on the money, where the money comes from.
You're the money people. Mm-hmm. And how do you apply? Do you have people apply that want your work? And you told me it was not free.
No, that's exactly right. If I could count how many times people have asked me before, hey Terry, how do you sign up for those free houses?
Yeah, it's not free.
It's not free. So what we do is Habitat for Humanity kind of functions as a bank. We generate the money that allows us to go out here and build the homes.
And I think the big word is affordable.
Affordable.
For the people that need the home.
That's exactly right. And we were asking a few minutes ago about qualifying. The first qualification for us is they have to show need for a home, need for a new home. It could be undesirable living conditions, health situations. The house that we just finished in December, the little family mom and 3 children, her little boy who was 3 had severe mold issues from the existing situation he was living in.
From the home they were in.
And so I can happily say today that now that they've been living in that house for 2 months, he went 2 weeks ago to have his adenoids and tonsils removed from his health, and the doctors were amazed at the improvement of his health.
That's
so
wonderful.
That makes us, that lets us know that we are definitely moving in the right
direction. Do you have a lot of applications every year?
We do. Not really a lot, but one is a lot of people probably doesn't know how to reach us for applications, and we'll go over that at the end. But the most easiest way to reach us for applications is to go to our website,
which is right there on the screen right now, hrhfh.org.
That's correct, and basically just navigate through the website and look at the pictures, and it's our local affiliation, and there will be a section that says application requirements, and then if you feel like that you can answer yes to the requirements, and then go ahead and do it's a 5-page tedious application process. So just kind of.
So you have to look that over.
You can print it off and mail it in to us, or you can fill it out online and send it to us that way. So we found out that's the easiest way.
Where do you operate from? Do you have
Our office is located in the Henry Building. You go in the glass doors there at the Methodist Church inside the Henry Building.
On Lincoln.
201 West Lincoln
West
Street.
Lincoln, okay.
That's correct. So we're in there with the.
And what are your hours?
Our hours vary. We're usually there on Tuesdays and Fridays from 9 to 4. So in the office itself. But other than that, we function with volunteers, mainly volunteers, and so we are in and out of the office every week, but Tuesdays and Fridays are the most common
one
days.
that you come near finding you.
That's right.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been involved with Habitat for 6 years, been serving as the president for 5. So I love it.
Well, they did well when they got you for president, because tell me about the trip to Nashville and the event that happened there with the Carters.
That's right. So back in October of this year, I was invited to be part of the hospitality team to serve with the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter build, and so that was an amazing process. Just to be able to see the Carters and to meet Garth Brooks. I actually got to sign the back of Garth Brooks' T-shirt.
That's fabulous.
Only because I asked him.
Yeah.
So, and I had my Sharpie with me, ready to go. So, but it was so energizing to be around. Anywhere from 500 to 700 volunteers each day to come and help work on 23 different houses in such a controlled environment. But
that really is awesome. And congratulations for the recognition. You certainly deserve it.
Thank you. I loved it.
I can tell that you love what you do, and I think there must be a lot of people out there that have benefited that could give you big accolades. I can't imagine what a great gift it would be to be desperate for a home and not quite able to afford interest. Did you tell me they don't have to pay interest?
That's correct. And that's what we like to refer to as Habitat for Humanity. This is not a handout ministry. This is a hand up. This is for hardworking individuals who are trying to get ahead, to be able to afford, who deserve a home, who are trying to get ahead for the first time, who ordinarily wouldn't be able to afford the closing costs, the expense of the housing, the housing material is so
huge.
Costly
really
right now. So we just really are happy to be able to provide an opportunity for a family or an individual to afford their first new home. This last home that we built over in Franklin County, and thanks to Nissan, who is our corporate sponsor, who helps us so much. Not only do they financially provide 90 or more % of the home, but they also provide the multitude of volunteers.
Yeah.
They sent 12 weeks on Fridays, anywhere from 10 to 20 volunteers to actually help us build this home.
That's amazing.
It's great. Some people actually have carpentry experience and most don't. And that's okay because our construction manager, each day, whatever task we have to do, whether it's do the framing, we plan it in the beginning of the day. And even if you need to learn how to do a building
You
trade,
can learn
you sure can.
learn it right there.
That's exactly right. So we're all OSHA trained and qualified, so everything is in a very safe, teachable learning experience. And,
That's wonderful. And I'm sure that the home is built to standards.
Oh, yes, we have to pass all the
You have
codes
to
just
pass
like
the
everybody
codes,
else.
and what a wonderful opportunity. Do you find maybe that there are a few people you might not reach and that don't have a computer or something like that? They could come by your place.
That's right.
At the
So
Henry Building.
That's the Henry Building,
and
and
get
pick up, we have that all the time.
And get the information.
That's right. They can pick up an application just by
Remember,
hand.
Tuesdays and
Fridays from 9 to 4. We're, Elisa and myself are usually there in and out. And we actually, some people, can't read that well.
Right.
Last week, I actually
have to
sat
help
down
them
and
fill it
fill
out.
out the application themselves. So, and we just take the applications as many as we can. Right now, what we have, the active thing that we have working on in our organization is we're working with a grant that's called Aging in Place. It's a senior trust federal grant.
Oh,
it's
okay.
for people that are over the age of 60 that might need some sort of
need
home
some
repair.
help, and
that's correct.
that's
so,
good.
And that's a good thing to kind of stop into our office.
I
'cause-
realize that you probably have a lot more that you need to say,
Yes.
but I would encourage you to donate to this project, and hopefully you'll come back. We'll be back with more things.
Thank y'all.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and today, evidently, is Rec Day, and we're not tearing anything up. We're having fun because we have Lyle here from the Tullahoma Parks and Rec to tell us. We had Tiffany. Now I want to I want to know. One of these, we'll. I tell you what we might do is take a poll and see who our audience thinks won that arm wrestling contest.
Tell you what, it was tough. I won't give away who won, but it was a challenge.
You email us or you call in and let us know who you think won that arm wrestling contest. Look at him. He's still
stiff.
He got a pull muscle. But Lyle's here from Tullahoma Parks and Rec to let us know what's going on around here. And this is not just like I told Tiffany. Her stuff is not just for Manchester.
Sure.
It's Coffee County. It's everybody in our area. We go to 6 counties. You know, if you see something that's happening over here, come be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, recreation is not exclusive. So, you know, whether it's here or Manchester or Franklin County or Coffee County, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're all in the same business.
That's right.
And there's not a competition between us or anything like that. We just like to have a good time. So. Recreation's in the name.
Isn't it wonderful that in our couple towns right here that we have so many positive things going on?
Yeah, and we're just a few miles down the road from Manchester, and they run great programs over there. And you know, we send people over there, and they send people over to us, and we do our programs. So
So what we got happening?
Well, we got an interesting program. I was told that there's not really such thing as a first annual. It's either inaugural or it's first
second annual.
Right. So, but I'm going to throw that rule out the window. So we're going to have our first annual, because this will be the first one. We've partnered up with Master of Ceremonies here in town. You know, they wanted to do a fun program for the community. You know, they're relatively new. They took that over a couple years ago from Christopher, right? And you know, we've met with them a few times, and they've just talked about how wonderful, you know, everything that they've been doing has been received and all that.
They're really nice folks.
They really are, and we've worked with them on several projects, and so they wanted to do a community give back event, which I thought was great. You know, so we sat around and we talked about it, and we came up with the Dehibernation Celebration. So if you've looked outside in the last 2 weeks or 2 months for that matter, it is
We're hibernating.
Yes, we are hibernating. We are stuck in our caves. So we're going to give everybody a chance to wake up a little bit early and come out and enjoy just a free, fun event at the community center over here at D.W. Wilson. They're going to bring all their bounce houses, and they've got a whole bunch of really cool ones. They've got a spaceship, and they've got the inflatable surfboard and water slides and all that stuff. So we're going to set all of that up in the gym for free. You can come out, you can bounce, you can jump around, have a good time.
Surf, you can do whatever you need to do.
We're going to put some of them in the pool, so if you come with your swim trunks on, bring a towel because you can't run around wet. You can go get in the pool. You can jump on the inflatable slide in there, slide off in the pool. They've got that, like I said, the inflatable surfboard that's going to be in there. They've got the spaceship bounce house that they're going to have. So here's a picture of it right here. You see that big spaceship on there?
Wow.
So they're bringing all this stuff over, and we're going to put it inside. So rain or shine, this event is happening.
Right.
And so, the center will be open to everybody who wants to come in and check it out and just have a good time. Get out of the house and come enjoy yourself.
Yes, get out.
Yep, so I think it's a great idea, and this will be the first annual, so it'll be the inaugural, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to try to do this every year around this time. So when spring is on the edge, of coming in, just think about coming out and dehibernating.
That's great, man. That's dehibernate. I love it. I love it. And we want to again give thanks to the folks out there with it's providing all this. Master of Ceremonies.
Yeah, they're providing all of this for free, and these things are not easy to lug around.
Oh, heavens no.
They're heavy until they're inflated. So they put a lot of work and a lot of thought and effort into it. So we appreciate that they've come to us with this idea, and we're going to open up the center and work with them on making this fun, free event for all the kids and people that want to get outside and
that's a great
come out of their caves.
That's a great deal. What else you have going on?
So also with spring upon us, we're not that far away from the pool opening, and everybody's always excited about that. But that's something that we can't operate without people, and so our lifeguard classes are getting ready to start up. A couple of years ago, well, every year I try to do a post on Facebook about how proud we are to employ so many young people from here in Tullahoma. And not just Tullahoma, I guess. We have some young folks that live in Lynchburg and Manchester and Franklin County that come work for us. So, we employ over 100 lifeguards every year and between 20 and 30 concession staff every year for summer jobs. And so we are really proud of that. Because we take these young folks who come in with a sense of responsibility and they're ready to work and they want to get those summer jobs under their belt, and we train them, in the cafe.
Well, and as I was telling Tiffany, lifeguard. That is a whole lot of responsibility for a young person to step up and take, and we forget that.
It is. It is. There's some folks that are sometimes a little rough on them. You got to remember, these are 16 to 18-year-old young folks that are doing the best that they can, and they stand out there with that responsibility on their shoulders. Sometimes you got to cut them a little slack. They get yelled at a few times.
They're not looking at you about. They're watching. They're like a hawk watching that water. Because instantly there can be a problem that's unfixable.
Absolutely.
If they're distracted.
Absolutely. And our crew, and I know the crew over at Manchester, they do a great job of keeping up with that and making sure that everybody stays safe as they possibly can.
There you go.
But the training that goes with that, there's CPR, there's some basic first aid that goes with it. There's a lot of things that carry on once that summer job is over with, that could translate into other things. For the cafe, for example, one of the things we do is a serve safe training that most restaurants and things require now of even their servers. And that's a training that stays with you. So if you come work for us for the summer, we put you through that training and we pay for it. You take that certificate with you. So if
now
you wanted
you
to
said
go
that
get
is serve.
It's called Serve Safe, SERVSAFE.
And what does that training entail?
Well, it's not quite as in-depth as lifeguard training, but it teaches you about the proper cooking temperatures and holding temperatures for food when you're serving, hygiene habits, cleanliness habits that you have to keep in a kitchen.
Right. That's great.
And it goes pretty in-depth. It's a great training. Anybody who's in the restaurant field, I'm sure, knows of it or has at least heard of it.
Right.
And it's not necessarily required, but it's something that we like to do to make sure that our staff is trained to the best that they can possibly be for our customers. So.
Well, and particularly for young people, because young people, they know they come home and mom or dad or somebody's cooking food and putting it on the table.
Absolutely.
They really don't understand that process.
Right.
And making it safe.
Yeah, and
because you're responsible for that food, and particularly if you sell that food, you're responsible for what that food does to the person that eats it.
Absolutely. And
if they end up throwing up before they leave there and having food poisoning, you got a big problem.
Right, and that's something that we are very, very careful about, and that's why we invest in this training. It's a great thing, especially for these young folks that may not have ever been exposed to anything like that, things that they don't know, and suddenly now they're more aware of it, and because of that, we have a safer public.
Yeah.
So
very good.
Yeah.
We're about out of time. What else you got? Is that about it?
Yeah, for this time, I think we'll leave it at that. So
well, I appreciate you, and I want you folks to remember Lunch and Learn. Keep up with the website and find out when the next Lunch and Learn is, because this guy brings people in, and you can go and have a little lunch and find some great information. It might be about songwriting, it might be about rocket building.
Yeah.
There's no telling garden growing. There's no telling what it might be about.
We'll see what I feel like that
But
month.
if Lyle gets it in there, the information will be good, and the food's always good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Lyle. We appreciate you, buddy.
Anytime.
You come back anytime you need to. We'll be right back after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, It doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, Peg, we're back, and man,
Oh,
fast and furious.
I wanted to say happy birthday to Miss Linda Bush. She is the mother of Terry Quick that was on the show,
Right.
and we forgot to say that.
Well, a happy birthday, Linda.
We need people need to have happy
They
birthdays.
they do, and I love Terry. I'm glad you got to interview Terry, but I like speaking with her. That's Habitat.
Her head is full of
And
information.
she's full of energy
yeah,
too.
she is.
And what they do is
very
really,
important.
really good stuff.
It is.
Really, really
Very
good
good
stuff. What you need to do is go buy couches and get your
Tullahoma t-shirt.
where I call home t-shirt. Right there, this is the blackberry in a short sleeve, and the long sleeves are in a Merlot color. And so you can go by there and pick one up today.
And have your Tullahoma t-shirt.
Have your Tullahoma t-shirt
to show the
on.
world.
That's right.
The only Tullahoma in the world.
Only Tullahoma in the world. That's us. So I hope everything goes okay with you till I see you again.
I hope so.
What do you have
I
planned?
encourage everybody to. I think I might see my son tonight, and my daughter.
The
and-
general's coming to town.
Well, he's got a brief workshop or something in Huntsville.
In Huntsville? Will you give him my
so
best,
he's going
will
to
you?
pop in here in the evening, I think. So
If you don't know who to pull the lever for, Bart Burton for president
Righty.
will be a fine choice. It probably won't be on a lever, so just write it in. Bart Burton for president.
Oh, John. Thank you.
He'd make a great one.
He's a good man.
He would make a
Yeah.
great one,
And my
serve-
daughter Shannon will be there, and her
Sure,
husband.
good. We were together at the Valentine's dance down in Bell Buckle, and just had a great time. Shannon and
That
Dan,
was
of course.
fun, wasn't it?
Shannon, I've always loved Shannon. She and I get in trouble together.
Shannon is her father's daughter. She has.
Hey, what we're going to do right now is we're going to close the show with some video from the Sports Hall of Fame Awards dinner the other night and induction of some fine athletes from Tullahoma. We appreciate you watching. Go by and visit our sponsors, and we'll see you next time.
It's time now for inducting members permanently to the Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame. We begin with a team, the second team to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, led by legendary coach Dale Phelps, who won 4 golf state titles during his golf coaching career. The 1978 Tullahoma High School boys golf team, undefeated state champions, must be considered among the greatest teams in Tullahoma sports history. James McCord, John McCord, Clay Usselton, Scott Copeland, and Keith Scott dominated the regular season with an 18-0 record. They beat Fayetteville in the district tournament by 6 shots, raising their record to 30-0. James McCord and John McCord were named All-District. They beat Notre Dame in the regional tournament by 7 shots, raising their record to 33-0. Scott Copeland, James McCord, and Clay Usselton were named All-Region. Tullahoma took on Harding Academy, BGA, and Knoxville Halls in the state tournament, private schools that recruited their players. The Wildcats were tied for the lead with Harding Academy after the first day. Leading by 1 stroke entering the back 9 on day 2, the Wildcats battled windy, cold conditions to win the tournament by an amazing 14 shots. Some doubted this Tullahoma team, facing powerhouse private schools from Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville, but not these 4 young Wildcats who said all season long they were going to go 36-0 and win the state championship. And they did. Clay was named the 1978 Tennessee Junior Player of the Year and a member of the All-State team, and Scott, James, and Clay were named All-Region. The 1978 state champions were rewarded with a trip to the convenience store located by Henry Horton State Park for some ice cream on their way home. Coach Phelps spending that money. Governor Ray Blanton proclaimed Monday, May 29, 1978, as Tullahoma High School Golf Day. An undefeated state champion. Let's welcome the 1978 THS Boys Golf Team to the Sports Council Hall of Fame.
Since I wasn't All-Region, I wasn't All-State, I get to speak. Not true. First, I want to thank the Sports Council for this honor and for this event and for what they're doing for Tullahoma. Back when we played wooden clubs. And most people today, if you play golf, you don't know what a wooden club is, but we played wooden clubs, and we still have most of those clubs at home. But when we played 4, and you counted 4. You had 4 people on a team, and you counted everyone. So if somebody had a bad day, you're out. And today they play 5, and they count 4. Also, there was only 1 division back when we played. It was the state. I mean, there wasn't AA, AAA. And we got into battles against all these private schools that recruited players. And so at the state, it was all private schools and us. But when Scott came to the high school in 1978 as a freshman, we all knew and we all said, we're going 36-0. The biggest doubter of that person was my father. Y'all ain't gonna do it. He was the proudest one when we won the thing. But probably, you know, one of the things I got to say about these guys, his daddy used to give us 3 balls for an event. And again, we played 18-hole matches. They played 9 a lot of times now. But he'd only give us 3 balls, and those were blotted balls. You could miss a shot, and you'd cut it in half. And they all accused me of still having those balls up in my closet. And they were over today this morning. We did a radio show, call-in show, thanks to Russ Barrett. And I still got some of those balls. Here's one of them. But all the people we've met over our lifetime of this game, it's a great game. But the friendships that we've made, but the friendship and the bond the 4 of us have, and we're here, is unsurpassable. It's the best. So thank y'all.
Our next inductee to the Tullahoma Sports Council is Mr. Joel Farrell. Mr. Farrell is sponsored by Nichols Oral and Facial Surgery. Joel Farrell became involved in the Amateur Athletic Union through Tullahoma's local swim club and remained an active AAU volunteer on all levels for nearly 30 years. He was the meet director for 3 Tennessee State AAU swimming championships and a charter member of the AAU Tullahoma Swim Club. In 1979, Joel Farrell was named Tullahoma Citizen of the Year and the city pool was named the Joel Farrell Municipal Pool. In the Southeastern AAU in the 60s and 70s, Mr. Farrell served 3 terms as the president. He served as the swimming committee chairman, the youth sports chairman, and the law and legislation chairman, and served 3 terms as president of the Southeastern Amateur AAU. In 68 and 70, Joel was the meet director for 2 AAU USA Junior Olympic Games in Knoxville. The 68 games had 5 sports in the event. Joel also served as a 3rd vice president for the United States Olympic Committee and was on the USOC Olympic Festival Committee. From 73 and 74, he was the AAU's 2nd vice president. In 75 and 76, he was the 1st vice president. From 76 to 78, Joel Farrell served as the 38th AAU national president and immediately called for American industry to back amateur sports and amateur athletes from the United States. He also served as the national chairman of the AAU Law and Legislation Committee, as well as the Junior Olympics and the nominating committees and a trustee of the AAU. Joel Farrell was inducted into the AAU Volunteer Hall of Fame in 1989. Upon his death in 1998, the AAU, along with the assistance and guidance of the Farrell family, established the Joel Farrell Outstanding Performance Memorial Award to recognize the athletic ability and sportsmanship of an athlete representing each official sport at the AAU Junior Olympic Games. Here to accept the award in honor of their father are Jack Farrell and Catherine Farrell. Jack.
I know my father would be humbled by receiving this award from the Sports Hall of Fame. As a family, we're honored to accept this in his name. He's in our Hall of Fame as well. He'd be 100 years old this year. This is the anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. And for y'all to recognize something that he worked decades doing is very special to us. So thank you very much.